You send in 41,000 emails, 350 voice messages, 744 tweets, 48 Facebook messages.
So today is November the 11th. I've been up all night due to internal braking sessions. I was fast asleep and the systems woke me up. You can tell in my eyes the damage it's done to my eyes for years and years of sleep deprivation and being awoken continually or suffocated in the middle of the night or whatever else. I've gone through years and years of living in sleep with my sleep being disturbed. But that's not the issue. As of last night, they started stripping out my ability. I've started the gym again for the first time since last year, and the exact same thing is happening now, or the exact same decharacterization's happening now as what it did last year when I started the gym last year. And it's the exact same as when I went to the gym 8 years ago. They are using the gym or relativizing my power into the gym and stripping it out and internalizing it. So what I'm trying to say is this: I'm going to the gym and the power output or the physical output that I'm putting into the gym, the tension and the stress that is going into lifting the weights or the resistance, they're stripping it out and internalizing it, which is leaving me in a more controlled state and a more brain dead, lifeless state. And they've carried on doing it. Yes, I've only done one session in the gym. I've not even done one session. I've just been in there once, and they've already continued where they left off last year or 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I used to go to the gym all the time. They stripped all my power out and snagged it and internalized it. I didn't go to the gym properly for 8 years or at all, and I've still not done sit-ups or anything worked out to that capacity since then. In 8 years, still now to this day, 9 years later or whatever else, I've still not worked out to any standard I did 8 years ago because they've snagged my power. I started the gym last year for the first time in 8 years, did about 10 sessions, and they stripped every single bit of my sex drives out and every single bit of my sex power out and all my sexual tension out, so I couldn't lift the weights. That's what drives you to lift the weights, and they've still not put it back in like they do with everything else. So last year I started the gym for the first time in 8 years. They relativized all my sex power, all my sex drives, everything was going good on the weights. I started lifting the weights, I had tension on the weights, I had frustration on the weights, and then they stripped it all out and internalized it, and I've not been since. I've also, ever since then, had problems with my erections, where my erection size has shrunk by 2/3. I've got no sexual tension because they've stripped it out. In other words, they use the gym as an excuse to strip out your power. So they make prominent or make relevant all your power in the gym. You have a few good sessions, and they strip it out and internalize it. So I haven't been for a year or so, done anything in a year. I've gone back 2 nights ago to a different gym. I started again this year, and I've only done one session. They've already continued where they left off last year by decharactering me and pulling my power out. So I'm lady. I've had 1 hour's sleep. I don't know what they're pulling out now. I believe it to be power in society. My jaw's completely wide shut. I've done one session in the gym, and they've already stripped out a significant portion of my life, continuing where they left off last year. Like I've said, in summary, I worked out in the gym a lot, age 23-year-old. I had the plans of doing that the rest of my life. They've internalised every single bit of my physical power to keep me in a controlled state, and I didn't use the gym then for 8 years or so. I didn't do any sufficient workout in the gym for 8 years. I started going to the gym last year, did about 10 sessions, if that, not even 10 sessions. And they stripped every single bit of my sex power out, every single bit of my sexual tension, every single bit of my sexual prowess out, and I haven't been for a year. I started again last night or the night before, and they've already started stripping significant portions of my power out again to internalise it. So it's to the extent that I can't go to the gym and I can't do anything in society because they stripped my power out and internalising it, worsening the institutional state, worsening the controlled state, furthering the brain dead control state, and costing me more quality of life and significant portions of my life. So I've now had 1 hour's sleep in internal braking sessions because they're committing crime against my power and stripping it out to stop me going to the gym, or using the gym to pull out significant attributes in my life or significant portions of my life. Critical condition still continues in an institutional self, committing crime against my power and pulling it out. I've done one gym session and they've already started pulling out significant, massive portions of my power in society, costing me more in my life. So eventually, after 2 more sessions, I'll probably not go again because they've pulled all my power out. That's what I'll end up happening like it did last year, like it did 8 years ago. You go in there, do 2 or 3 good sessions, they pull out significant portions of your life and you never go again. And that's what happened last year, that's what's happened 8 years ago, and that's what's happening now. I've done 1 session in the gym, not even 1 session, and they've already started significantly pulling massive, gigantic portions of my power out, and I'm starting to not wanting to go, and not got the physical attributes to go, in a drained, brain dead, controlled state without the physical capabilities of doing anything. Critical state still continues, still pulling more and more of my power in society out, and internalising it to make a controlled institutional state. It's costing me every day of my life. My jaw is completely wide shut and the pressure on my internal organs of the skull is vast. I've had 1 hour sleep, absolutely shattered, internal breaking sessions, committing crime against my power and pulling it out. Problem still continues.